did you first see and hear of such things?
Why, I made them up.
The things you've done, the things you've said, shall I tell you his name?
Welcome back, PatrolClip fans. This is our third video of those horror movies that you probably didn't consider, or there just wasn't enough promotion about it.
We don't.
Especially for those spooky Halloween nights. Okay, any night is perfect for some horror in your living room, don't you think? Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Who knows what's coming next? Just maybe part 4. It may be stretching the definition of underrated to include a film widely revered as a genre classic. But, in general, reluctance to watch anything made before 1990 seems to be acceptable. I'm going to take my chance on this one. Just trust us.
Okay, here we...
Sure, it's old, but there are few films ever made that will send a chill up your spine quite like The Innocence, an adaptation of Henry James' The Turn of the Screw that plays with the haunted house subgenre in ways that are still influencing the genre.
What's he like, miss? Oh, he had dark curling hair and the hardest, the coldest eyes.
Is he? Would you say he was very handsome?
Yes, handsome and obscene.
Veteran French director Anne Fontaine approaches a spiritually and emotionally complex real-life slice of history with ability and understated drama in The Innocence. The Innocence begins at the end of World War II in Poland, December 1945. Serene, austere Benedictine nuns sing sweetly in the quiet stillness of morning until a piercing scream echoes through the stone hallway, sending a chill. Turns out it's coming from a pregnant young nun who's on the verge of giving birth, and she's not alone. If you loved Hereditary or Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House, you'll respond to this one too. I guarantee it's one of the best choices according to the critics, regardless of genre.
There are things that I haven't told you, that I can't bring myself to tell even you.
I can't!
Admit it! She's there! You know you can see her!
I can't!
But look, she's there!
John Carpenter said all he could about mad slashers stalking babysitters with the first 2 Halloween films, and hit upon the idea of not relating horror films under the Halloween banner. In fact, the film is actually a real treat, sort of an adult version of Goosebumps that is often bizarre, occasionally gross, and goofy, thanks in no part to the performances by O'Herlihy, Tom Atkins as the increasingly unfortunate hero, and the enormously likable Stacey Nelkin as the heroine. Unfortunately for him, when gorehounds turned up to see what promised to be the latest Michael Myers kill, and were instead confronted with the story of a madman, Dan O'Herlihy planning to play the nastiest joke imaginable on the kids of America by frying their brains with the help of popular masks. They felt as if they had been the victims of a cruel trick. Well, at the least, we must see a cameo from Jamie Lee Curtis for good measure.
What's the boogeyman?
From the mind of Russell Mulcahy, Australia's rock star, comes Razorback, a sarcastic industrial punk night terror. Mulcahy directs like a man who's just experienced a bizarre accident, like a superhero with the power to shock the eyes and ears with profound style. In the film, TV's Gregory Harrison heads to the outback to look for his missing wife and finds a godless demon. local cycles, David Argue and Chris Haywood, the Mad Max trucker who was waylaid here, aren't solely responsible for his wife's disappearance. There's a boar the size of a shipping container feeding on the unlucky. The animal attack genre is a time-honored Australian tradition, and Razorback is the best of the best. Razorback is a 95-minute electrical storm, a bloody, hairy, and a quick-witted, outsized fracas. Okay, don't you dare move because there's more ahead to look for. The Faculty has one of the most star-studded casts in a horror film. It stars Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Laura Harris, Josh Hartnett, and Sean Hatosi, among other incredible young actors. It takes the invasion of the body snatchers figure to high school and uses social status and loneliness as a means to attack our protagonists, who represent the social hierarchy of high school. Josh Hartnett is the bad boy, cocky, arrogant, muscle car driving smartass who turns the film into his own action flick.
Nah, they escaped detection till the mid-20th century.
You just know everything.
I'm a contradiction.
Check this.
And really doesn't make you ever want to be a drug dealer, high school troublemaker. And he's just 1/4 of our magnificent and heroic protagonists. Of course, the story told by this film, aliens land in small Midwest town and taking over the humans, is quite common. But it's still a great story, and this film tells it much, much better than others. There's a lot of humor, great action scenes, and some real nail-biting suspense.
Look, sorry to impose and disrupt, Mr. Furlong, but
If you kindly take your seats, this will be over quite quickly. Now sit down!
But what really makes this film special are the main characters, a delightful group of funny and interesting students dealing with a high school life, as well as the demands of defending the Earth against an insidious alien invasion. Death takes over everything eventually. It's the meanest, dumbest machine there is, and it just keeps coming, as said from a grieving mother, June Palmer, in Joel Anderson's bone-chilling Lake Mungo.
Yeah, of course I'm scared of dying. Isn't everyone scared of dying?
Would you like to tell me a little bit about what happens in these dreams?
I feel like something bad is going to happen to me.
Death and grief are at the heart of Anderson's effective flick, which presents itself as a documentary about a family in crisis. When Australian teenager Alice Palmer drowns during a swimming excursion, her family begins to suspect the girl's ghost is haunting their home and attempts to investigate, and Lake Mungo becomes the ghost haunting scenario. It's actually incredible that it never attacks anyone or acts the least bit malevolent. And despite all that, Lake Mungo is terrifying. The looming horror of death is impossible to break away from, and the end result really gets under your skin, leaving you in a state of crawling, inescapable fear. It just keeps coming, as June Palmer says. Well, fans, this is it for today, and remember, don't forget to subscribe for more of PatrolClip.